everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a quick declutter of my powders. That includes powder foundations, loose powders, pressed powders, setting powders, all kinds of powders. I have very limited space for my makeup storage, unfortunately, but the drawer I have designated for my powders is not closing anymore, so... And I've had to throw some powders in like other, like with eyeshadows or whatever. So my goal is to have this drawer closed and really organize it again. So I'm going to go through and hopefully clean house and get rid of a few powders I don't even use. Alright, so this is my powder collection. There are a few I know from the jump I'm not going to get rid of, right? So I have a new Kosas Cloud Set, brand new in the packaging. That's not going anywhere. I just purchased the Well People Super Powder. It's a brightening powder. I just purchased this, so that's not going anywhere. This one I had a part of like my project pan. And while I'm not doing that anymore, I don't have a lot left. So I'm going to try to get through this because I do really enjoy this powder. So that one's going to stay. So far, we are off to a terrible start. These two I just purchased because I'm going to be filming a full face of Essence video. A full face of Essence makeup video. So I'm going to be holding on to these. The Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte Powder Foundation. I enjoy using this. I've actually hit pan on that, so that's great. And it does get a bit of hard pan, but you can like just scrape that away if you ever have that problem. I like to carry this one in my bag if I need any like makeup touch-ups. This is a really nice foundation powder. It's not too heavy, so it doesn't look like too cakey. So I'm keeping this one. All right, let's get into this mess of a drawer. Here I have the, oh, sorry if I blinded you, the Urban Decay All Nighter. Funny story, mine doesn't close because the magnet closure fell out and I put it in, but I put it in wrong. So now the magnets are opposite, so they are repelling as opposed to being attracted to one another. I'm going to get rid of this. It's an interesting concept, but this powder is too deep for me. It looks kind of orangey. Like, if anything, I could probably use that as a bronzer, but I have enough bronzers that I don't really need to keep this, so this can go. I wish they would release this in different shades, then maybe I'd try it, but because it comes in one shade, unfortunately, it does not work for me. This is the L'Oreal Hydra Perfect powder. This is a phenomenal loose setting powder, especially if you have like drier skin. I'm definitely going to keep that. I do enjoy that powder a lot. The Tatcha Silk powder. This was very expensive, and I think that's the primary reason I don't want to get rid of it. But that's not a good enough reason. Like, it has, I don't know if you can see that because I do have like stains from eyeshadow. But if you look closely, it's very sparkly, which is not a bad thing, but that's like, those are pretty noticeable glitter particles. And I just feel like every time I've tried to use this powder, it's a bit dry on the skin. I know this is more of a buffing powder. It's not meant to be a setting powder, but I don't enjoy how it looks on the skin. So even though it was expensive and I do enjoy Tatcha, I'm going to get rid of this one. Do people even remember this powder? This is the Airspun face powder. This is a cult classic. You get a shit ton of product in here. It's very affordable. You can find it like at the drugstore. My issue is it smells like very strong. So my grandma likes to use like fragrance powder on her body. That's exactly what this smells like. But it is a really nice powder. This we're going to put in the maybe. I'm not sure. I think I need to play with it a bit more. This is the Ilia Fade Into You powder. Very thin, fine powder. I really enjoy this, especially when I'm going for more like serum-y sort of foundations. That looks really nice on it. This is my Kosas Cloud set in the shade Breezy. I'm almost done this, and it's one of my favorite setting powders, so I'm going to keep this one. Hopefully I can get through it quickly. Laura Mercier translucent setting powder is just a classic good powder to have. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus translucent powder. If you're on a budget and you're looking for a good matte setting powder, this one is really good. I don't know how many shades it's available in, so that may be something you want to look into. But I really like this powder a lot. This is the Ben Nye Media Pro HD powder in the shade Rose Petal. This is when that bright pink under eye, which was trending. I was looking for a powder and I wanted to be different. I'm going to keep this powder. It's actually really beautiful and it's such a soft pink. It doesn't look crazy on the skin. So Ben Nye you can find at like professional makeup retailers. Very smooth powder and it doesn't leave like that stark pink under eye, so I'm going to keep that one. This is the Say Air Set powder, another very fine powder, very similar to the Ilia, but this one has a bit of more color to it. I'm gonna definitely keep this. My only issue with this product is the packaging. This one also looks like it has like tiny glitter in it. Do you see that? But I've never noticed them on the face, so I'm gonna keep it. But my problem is the packaging. One time I closed it and I could not open it. My grandfather had to use pliers to reopen it for me. So if that happens again, I will throw it away. But I'm going to keep it for now. These two I bought because I did like a whole JCat haul. JCat is a very good Jesus Christ. JCat is a very good brand if you're looking for inexpensive makeup. With that being said, not every product is great. These are powder foundations. Very good. I bought this one to be more as a bronzer. So I'm going to get rid of this because I have enough bronzers. But the foundation I'm going to keep because if I ever want like a full coverage powder foundation, this one is really nice. Looks like I have 3 powders from MAC. I'm not getting rid of any of them. I love them all. So I have 2 Studio Fix in different shades. I have NC15 and NW18. So this one I use more when I want that bright under eye. This one I'll use more so all over the face. This is the Mineralized Skin Finish Natural in the shade Light. This is a very beautiful powder. I'll use this to like buff out foundations or even just set under the eye. I'll take like a puff and really work it in. And this gives you like a flawless under eye. This is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. This is fairly new to my collection. I'm going to keep it. I find this to be a very nice powder. Reminds me a lot of this one. Maybe just a slight bit more glow to it. I have 2 from Danessa Myricks. These are the Evolution powders. I have it in shade 1, which is just straight up white. In shade 2, which is like a very light. They don't have like tons of pigmentation. So that's just a light powder. I'm going to keep these because I love Danessa Myricks. I think these are phenomenal setting powders. Again, very thin. They do a good job mattifying and making foundation last well on the skin. So I'm going to keep these. Well, I'm not doing good at all. This is another Essence powder. I'm going to save it for the video. And I do enjoy this powder for under the eyes. This is a beautiful powder. So if you find this in the drugstore, I definitely recommend you check it out. However, as you can see, mine is completely shattered. So I can either transfer it into another container, or I can just get rid of it and maybe repurchase at a later time. So because this is declutter, and clearly I have enough powder to powder all of the United States, I'm going to get rid of this one, and maybe in the future I'll repurchase. This is the Hourglass Veil. I like this powder. Another very thin powder, and I like to take this one when I do travel. So I'm going to keep that. This is the Pat McGrath. Oh, it's like completely gone. It's the under eye setting powder. I have mine in the shade Lights. Another very finely milled powder. Has a bit of a pearlescent sheen, if you can see that. But very nice under the eyes. I'm going to be keeping that one. One of my first videos ever was a Dollar Tree haul makeup try on, which I got this powder. I'm going to get rid of it. It's a straight up white powder. So, yeah, that's not something I'll ever use. This brand is no longer going to be around, but this is the Jaclyn Hill. This is like the full, I don't know what it's called. What is it called? Hold on. I can't see. Hold on. It's the brightening and setting palette. You get 4 different shades. I think these are beautiful powders. Packaging is beautiful. I already own it, so I'm going to keep it. I also have this one, which is a luminous powder in the shade Brighten Up. Again, very similar concept to the Milk and that L'Oreal powder. Maybe just a bit more shimmer. But this is beautiful. Like if you buff all over the face, it just gives you like this very dewy, healthy glow. This is the Dior Backstage Face and Body powder. I really enjoy this powder as well. It does get a bit of hard pan, but it's a very light powder. Again, another one that's really nice to buff on foundation. Makeup Forever Ultra HD powder. This is just like a small one. And I use this like under the eyes. So I'm going to keep that. This is the Chantecaille Perfect Blur Finishing Powder. I think this was limited edition packaging, but the powder I believe is still available. It's a finishing powder, and again, this is one that's really nice to buff all over foundation. It has a little bit of pigmentation that can darken my foundation. But I'm going to keep this because this honestly makes your face look flawless if you take the time to buff it into your foundation. This is from Rodeo. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. The glass powder. I've only played with this a few times, so I don't have full thoughts on it, but I'm going to keep it and try it out a bit more. Another powder I bought when I wanted that under eye, the pink under eye, but this one's actually in purple from Anna Sui. This is like a refill. They do sell like a case separately. I want to try out this brand a bit more. I know a lot of people don't care for scents. This one does have a bit of a floral scent, but I'm going to keep it. I haven't used it a ton, so I don't have concrete thoughts on it, but I'm going to keep it for now because, again, I want to order a few more things and try this brand out. Another powder I ordered when I wanted to do that pink under eye. This is from Kylie Cosmetics. This is the only thing I've ever tried from that brand. It's not a brand that really appeals to me. This is in the shade Soft Pink. You see that, right? Soft Pink. There's nothing pink about this powder. I know there were like people saying, oh, some of the batches got messed up. The color, I don't care. I should have returned it when I had the opportunity. But I'm going to get rid of this because it's not pink, number one. And number two, that color's too deep for me to use. So, yeah. Next, I have the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose baking and setting powder in the shade Pound Cake. Really beautiful powder, especially if you want to do like full coverage makeup. Really nice powder to have. I'm not going to get rid of that. I have the originals of the Makeup Forever. So I know they reformulated this and it's in different packaging now. Oh my god, what's wrong with me? This is the Matte Velvet Skin. I have two shades, Y2225 and Y215. I'm going to keep these because I enjoy them, especially when I'm going for more full coverage makeup. I like to set my foundation with a foundation powder, and that one is beautiful. This is another powder from JCat. This is a powder foundation, the Aqua Assurance. I have mine in the shade Porcelain, very pigmented powder. I don't reach for this though. And since I kept that other one, hold on. You know, I don't use either of these, so they can go. This is the Givenchy Prisme Libre powder. This is the one that has 4 different shades, and then when you release the powder, they mix. I'm gonna keep this powder. I like it for setting under the eyes. I don't think it's as great as like it's been hyped up to be. This was definitely a product I was influenced to purchase. It's a beautiful powder, but it's really nothing you're missing out on if you don't own it already. This is the One Size Powder Foundation Turn Up the Base. I have shade Fair 3N. I'm going to also keep this one. I think this is a phenomenal powder foundation. Again, one of those products I like to just throw in my bag, especially when I'm doing like touch-ups and stuff. This is a really nice powder. Or when I want to do full coverage looks, great powder foundation to really cancel out anything on the skin. And the last two I have are the Maybelline Fit Me powders. I have 2, one in the shade 05 and one in the shade 10. 05 is very fair, whereas 10 is more of my skin tone. These are beautiful powders at the drugstore, very affordable, lots of product. I am going to keep these. Alright, so I'm going to wipe this down because this is a mess, and I'm going to try to reorganize. And I've decided in that meantime that I'm going to get rid of this because it's just, I don't use it, so I'm going to keep it. Alright, so I was able to reorganize and everything fits perfectly now. Still a lot of powder, but that's fine. I was able to get rid of 9 powders. So you know what? Something's better than nothing. I hope you enjoyed this sort of video. It's very cathartic, getting rid of things I do not use. Because I can hoard makeup a bit, so that is a habit I need to break out of. If I'm not using it, it's gotta go. Or I need to learn to return things within my time frame if I don't enjoy them. But with that said, yeah, thank you for watching me sort out my powders. And with that said, thank you so much to anyone that tuned into this video. I hope you like declutters. Let me know if you do. I can try to do more on different categories. Yeah, this is fun. It feels nice that I'll be able to close my drawer again. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and in the comments, let me know what's your go-to powder. If you can only keep one powder, what would it be in your collection? See you all next time. Bye-bye.